As soon as you feel that someone is opposing everything you say or do, attacking you for the pleasure of it, the story of the firefly begins. The firefly flew for a long time, trying to escape, until it found itself in a dead end, almost caught by a snake. He asked the snake if he could ask her 3 questions, knowing that he was already locked up with no escape route. She agreed, and he asked if it was part of the snake's regular food, and the snake said no. He then asked if he had done anything wrong to her, and she also replied in the negative. Finally, he wanted to know why the snake wanted to catch him, and she replied that she couldn't bear to see him shine. No matter what your relationship with other people is or how remote your job may be, there will always be people who are not on your side. We all know such people, whether it's an aggressive university colleague, someone who is jealous of us among our friends, or even a member of our own family who has negative thoughts about us. A practical and philosophical approach helps us learn to accept the fact that some things are beyond our control and that we must let go of resentment and move forward. If you don't learn to take your place in life, others will trample on you, including those who don't like you. Being persistent does not mean being passive and silently harboring resentment. Instead, it's important to take a firm stand and control your emotions by thinking before you act. To do this, first of all, welcome to our channel. And in order for this video to be more effective, and for other people to see it, please like and leave a comment on this video. And in this way we will be able to convey this message to more people. So let's get started. The first step is to deliberately ignore those people who want to harm you. There is no show without an audience. Ignoring someone can be one of the worst feelings. So use it to your advantage. Perhaps start by deliberately ignoring those who call themselves your enemy or those you don't like. This strategy, although simple, requires a lot of self-control because you consciously choose not to pay attention anymore. Provocateurs, malicious jokes or actions, or even just someone's presence. Understand that the strength of some people lies in the fact that they cause emotional anxiety. Some people get satisfaction from provocations. And when you start ignoring them, they automatically lose the ability to influence your emotions or decisions. You can choose not to feel offended and instead of succumbing to provocations, choose wisdom and not participate. This solution will also protect us from harmful feelings of resentment and anger. This will allow us to develop resilience, a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Secondly, win using your mind. The idea is to be smarter than the other person, using creativity and the ability to plan to understand the problem and find a solution, without the need for verbal conflict or direct argument. By acting in this way, we use a model of how we can win with smart strategies without resorting to physical force. Under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, Indians chose the path of peaceful protest, avoiding the use of violence. Gandhi organized peaceful marches, strikes, and urged people not to buy British goods such as salt, which violated the rules. This allowed them to buy salt only from the British, which attracted the attention of the whole world to them. These actions weakened British control over the Indian economy and, as a retaliatory measure, led to the withdrawal of the British from India. Finally, in 1947, India became independent. And Gandhi demonstrated to the world the power of nonviolent resistance by using peaceful strategies to achieve political and social goals. Similarly, we can make wise decisions in our conflicts, avoiding unnecessary risks. If Gandhi had fought physically, he would have shown his physical and military unpreparedness, and many would have died. Instead, he used his mind to turn his people's weaknesses into strengths and win. We can do the same. We can use our mind instead of physical strength and avoid mistakes due to ignorance. A wise victory requires not only skills, but also an understanding of what motivates people to act in a certain way, considering the consequences of their actions. By doing this, you demonstrate that you are taking control of the situation and showing what real leadership looks like. Third, turn your enemies into teachers. And adversity is on the way. Instead of treating our opponents or enemies with hostility, we can view them as a chance for growth and learning. They are our teachers on the path of life, testing our limits and revealing our weaknesses. They show us where we need to improve. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome as Roman emperor, said that the best revenge is not to be like those who harm us. Instead, we must learn from these confrontations and develop tolerance, calmness, and wisdom. Instead, we should first think about our own mistakes and ask ourselves the question, which one of my mistakes is most similar to the one I'm going to criticize? Fourth, forgiveness is a great act. Forgiveness does not mean that you should walk next to the person who hurt you or invite them into your home. It's a choice to drop all anger, resentment, or regret. Forgiveness has nothing to do with who we are. It's about not locking bad feelings in your chest. This is not a sign of weakness. This is a manifestation of strength and dignity. By forgiving someone, we show that we can control our emotions and create our own destiny. This involves accepting reality, regardless of whether we understand the reasons why something happened. When we let go of pride, we shut ourselves off from the world and erect barriers that make reconciliation difficult. Forgiveness is an act of kindness towards evil. Epictetus briefly described the importance of forgiveness. Forgiveness replaces revenge because it demonstrates kindness. Although revenge reflects the wild nature of humans, this wisdom shows how forgiveness can change our lives, as it is based on compassion and understanding of the enlightened spirit. Fifth, transform the relationship with our enemies through kindness, understanding, and compassion, which will lead to positive changes in our environment and in people's behavior. Seeing problems in a new light encourages us to be generous even to those who harm us. It's not easy to show such generosity, but in the end it's worth it. Let me tell you a story about a rich man who decided to impress a poor man on his birthday by giving him a tray full of dirt. The rich man was surprised when the poor man forgave him and they became friends. A rich man presented a gift in front of all his friends and employees. The young man, in his innocence, accepted the gift with great joy and thanked the man. He asked the man to wait a few minutes. After that, the poor man threw out all the garbage and washed the tray. Then he filled it with food and returned it to the rich man. The postcard, which said "We give what we have," showed that you can't expect people to give you what they don't have. Some people can only offer a tray full of garbage, while others choose flowers. By choosing love over malice, we not only benefit the other person, but also help us grow by expanding our vision and moral strength. In this story, a rich man tried to spread hatred and negativity, but the poor man's actions surprised him. The young man responded with love and kindness, just as we can overcome our primitive instincts and grow as a person. Sixth, the strategy we can use is to focus on ourselves. Dr. Matt Murdock's phrase, "I didn't do anything, and I want you to stop talking to me like that." It's about showing that you are aware of certain behaviors and don't accept them. Each situation is unique, so the approach should be different. In most cases, people tolerate everything in silence. If you resist, people will use it over and over again. Therefore, it is important to be ready to defend your interests when necessary. Focus on yourself, and complaining about every situation is a waste of time. Every minute you spend thinking about who offended you or how things could have been different is a minute less for yourself. To focus on yourself means to accept this responsibility and stop worrying about the opinions and recognition of others, especially those who do not like us. Stoicism reminds us that we have the power to change our own lives. Choosing how we respond to any situation allows us to make informed decisions that are consistent with our values. Following these teachings, we embark on a journey of self-discovery, overcoming ignorance, forgiveness, and developing love. We remove the barriers that prevent us from achieving virtue, wisdom, and happiness. The eighth control element is you. You are the one who controls your emotions. When someone influences you, it is because you have allowed it, and no one can destroy your peace or take away your sleep or mind. This control is completely in your hands. No one else can hurt you if you don't let them. Since you have the power to control your emotions, it is difficult to coexist with someone who wishes you harm for no reason. However, understand that such people do not exist. They hate to see the good in others. This shows how you will react, so it doesn't matter how many enemies you may have. Anger is not important because what others think of you is not as important as what you think of yourself. No matter how others try to make life difficult for you or how much they dislike you, what matters is how you treat them. The bad intentions of others are not as important as how you treat yourself. Refusing to feel pain will help you avoid hurting others.